Top story this week, Middle East update, the forgotten countries. Andy, the international news has been dominated by Libya all this week due to the fact that we, as NATO, have been trying to bomb some freedom into it. And it's been all Gaddafi said this, Gaddafi said that, Gaddafi did this to his civilian population with that. And it's all definitely newsworthy, no one's denying that. It's just that there are other countries in the Middle East that we're not giving our physical or indeed mental attention to that are also deserving of being discussed. What about the plucky countries that no one's really talking about? The forgotten Middle East, if you will. Your Israels, your Syrias, your United Arab Emirates. What are those crazy little bastards up to? Well, let's take a look. Israel! Jews news! Israel is currently spending its days shitting itself at the moment over the situation all around it, which is not very different at all from how it's been spending its last half a century. But there was even more instability than usual coming out of the "oh, come on, you promised" land this week. Justin Bieber, the floppy-haired, asexual object of affection for teenage girls around the world, was visiting Israel this week and unwittingly stumbled into something of a diplomatic snafu. He was scheduled to have a meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, but it was called off at the last minute, with both sides differing on why. Now, before we delve much further into this story, Andy, let's not gloss over what's a very important fact. Let's not bury the lead here, which is that before it was cancelled, Benjamin Netanyahu was scheduled to have a meeting with Justin Bieber. We all live in a world where that nearly happened. Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel, very nearly had a meeting with Justin Bieber, 17-year-old singer boy. Is this how far from a peace agreement we now are? We're just throwing Bieber at the wall, hoping he sticks.
Well, I mean, it's not, it's not, I mean, that's not so new, is it? I mean, let's not forget that Golda Meir had a meeting with Donny Osmond in the early 70s. To be fair to him, John, he's not the first young heartthrob in the Holy Land to endure a mixture of public adulation and official interference. But let's just hope he has a more effective legal team than some of his more illustrious predecessors. I don't know much about Justin Bieber, John. He's just a name to me. I had to look him up on Wikipedia, famous for hits such as Baby and the follow-up single Toddler. And if you play his hit single Baby backwards, it quite explicitly states that Justin Bieber will only date committed and certifiable Zionists, that he has a tattoo of Ariel Sharon on his back, and that he thinks Israel should extend their settlement programme into other areas, including Jordan, Turkey and Iowa. Although whether he knew that when he was singing it, or if he was just stitched up by my people, who of course run the entire entertainment industry, we don't know. We've got it stitched up, John. As proved by my unending run of success in primetime British television.
You are a one-man argument against anti-Semitism, Andy. A spokesman for Benjamin Netanyahu said that he'd been approached with the idea of a meeting and that the Prime Minister had been, I quote, open to that. See, straight away, that is surprising, Andy. I'd have thought that if someone asked the Prime Minister of a major country located in one of the most violent flashpoints on the planet whether he wanted to meet Justin Bieber, he would be closed to that. Or at the very least, his instinctive question would be, why? Why exactly would I do that? I have a lot to do with my day. Apparently, the Prime Minister's office suggested including children from communities in southern Israel that have been under intense rocket fire from Gaza in recent days. But the spokesman said that proved impossible because Bieber's representatives had turned down the idea of including the children. Wow. So the special Bieber summit was scuppered over the situation in Gaza. I guess that isn't much of a surprise, Andy. When you think about it, so many of Justin Bieber's lyrics are based around the current affairs in Gaza and the West Bank. You've talked about what it's like when you play it backwards. Never mind that, Andy. Look at what it's like when you play it forwards. Look at that hit, baby. If you just imagine that the subject of the song is Gaza and the Palestinian territories, it's clearly a song trying to win that land back. Here's how it goes. You know you love me, I know you care, just shout whenever, and I'll be there. You are my love, you are my heart, and we will never, ever, ever be apart. That clearly speaks to the determination of hardline Israelis' complete refusal to agree to a two-state solution. Bieber doesn't stop there, Andy. He goes on, saying, are we an item? Girl? Substitute that for Gaza. Quit playing. We're just friends. What are you saying? Said, there's another, and looked right in the eyes. My first love broke my heart for the first time. Now, that's a little poetic licence from Bieber there, Andy. I don't think he's suggesting by any means that this is the first time the Jewish people in their history have had their hearts broken. But he continues saying, and I was like, baby, 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 oh, I thought you'd always be mine, mine. Why did he think that, Andy? Why was he so sure? Because the land was promised to Moses, Andy. That's what Bieber cannot get his head around in the plaintive chorus of that song. It's all there. It's all there.
In another Twitter message, Bieber wrote, I want to see this country and all the places I've dreamed of, and whether it's the paps or being pulled into politics, it's been frustrating. And he was quoting there directly from George W. Bush on a visit to Iraq in 2003. And Bieber might have a postgraduate diploma in brushing his hair, but he could not punctuate his way out of a wet paper bag, John. There was a frankly distressing lack of commas. Not to mention the apostrophes that should be there. I mean, he's 3 apostrophes down. It's absolute f***ing disgrace. I would f***ing nail him up if I had the chance.
This just
crucify Bieber. It's got to be done.
Well, there's a hashtag for Twitter. This just goes to show how crazy pop singers get, Andy. With all that adulation, all those fans, your ego is inflated to the extent that even as a 17-year-old boy, you find yourself watching the news on CNN and thinking, well, the Middle East has been in turmoil for thousands of years now, and there just seems no hope of a solution on the horizon. What can I do? What can I, Justin Bieber, do? What can I, 17-year-old Canadian singer boy Justin Bieber, do to not only help but solve this intractable problem forever? Sure, I could keep singing and dancing and releasing hit albums, or I, Justin Bieber, could get the Prime Minister of Israel on the phone and enter into direct negotiations myself. You know what? I'm going to do it. And also, you know what? I hope he's successful, Andy. I hope that Justin Bieber can bring peace to that region. Would I be surprised? Yes. But would I be happy? Tremendously. Plus, here's the thing. It could actually work. And here's how. If either Netanyahu or Abbas have 12-year-old daughters. Because there is no greater weak point for any father than when it comes to doing something for their daughters. And if Bieber can somehow leverage the affection Netanyahu and Abbas have for their little girls, I think he could get them to make major concessions on both sides, and there could actually be genuine peace. Well, I'd love to come and do a private concert for you and your friends, but only if you can convince Daddy to allow Jerusalem to be governed by a third party.